Hi guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to have some Division 9 online ranked gameplay, and we're going to be using none other than the newly added Merab. And now, he's in the bantamweight division, of course, and that is a division full of absolute killers, and we're coming up against one here, coming up against Cheeto. And in terms of wrestling, right, so anyone that's watched Merab and, sees how he fights in real life, you're going to look to chain wrestle, you're going to look to control your opponent on the ground, whether that's then by winning by decision or getting a submission finish, ground and pound finish, because his ground and pound stats are good, his submissions are good too, so you can really look to explore those avenues in winning the fight. But I'm going to be honest with you, I did not like using him that much. I mean, if I want to diversify in this division, in terms of when I want to pick a grappler, then yeah, I could pick him and use him. But he just didn't feel great. Like, he felt very lackluster. There was much to be desired. But to be honest with you, when you're in a division that has Henry Cejudo as a wrestler, that has Aljamain Sterling, who is an elite grappler, there's tons of good fighters you can pick when you want to grapple. You can even use TJ Dillashaw, for instance, to look to grapple. So there's a vast majority of options there that you can look to explore. And Merab just didn't feel as good as those guys. I'm going to be real honest with you. He just didn't feel as good. But he does still feel good, if that makes sense. So I feel like there was something left to be desired. He didn't blow me away. However, he is very, very usable, and you can do very, very well when coming up against the elites of the elites. Your more difficult matchups is going to be someone that has very good takedown defense, like a very good Aldo player, or a very good Cheeto player, or a very good player in general that's using someone that's looking to stand, whether it be Sugar Sean, Corey Sandhagen, Rob Font, Cheeto, all those elite level strikers. If they have very good takedown defense, it's going to cause you loads of problems, because when it's on the feet, he just didn't feel that good. You are constantly striking just to get into a clinch position or to look to get the fight onto the ground. But once it's on the ground, he's very, very good at controlling the positions. And like I said, got good submissions and good ground and pound, so you can look to control, posture up, bring down strikes, and just take a more patient approach to it, because he's someone that you really have to work the submission finish for, so you need to make sure they're real low on stamina. And I did have about 4 or 5 fights with him. I didn't lose a single one, I don't think, off memory. There's only going to be 2 in this gameplay clip here, but I didn't come up against another wrestler, and that's what I was hoping for. I'd like to use him against a Henry Cejudo, or use him against, let's say, an Aljamain Sterling who's very comfortable off his back, and really test him out and see how good he is compared to the likes of those guys, because against an elite level striker, he's obviously going to outclass them when it comes to being on the ground. He's a very dominant wrestler. But when coming up against another wrestler that's got equal to stats, I do feel like he's going to feel worse than them, because there is a big difference when using him compared to when you use Henry Cejudo. You can feel it off the get-go, and he just feels a bit sluggish, a bit stiff, especially on the feet. And when you're trying to strike to get into an advantageous position to then look for that takedown, you've got to be very, very selective with the shots you're throwing, because his recovery also didn't feel very good. So it does sound like I'm sort of, bashing him, but I'm just giving an honest sort of criticism into how I would rank him compared to all the other elite fighters in this division, and he's not one that I would use very, very often. But very good to diversify and use different gameplay, especially for you guys. And I just want to say a huge thank you for all the support. I think I'm at 445 subscribers as of right now, so I just want to say a big shout out to you guys, getting loads of comments on the videos, and I do try to get back to all the comments and any content suggestion. All the support, I appreciate it a lot. So I hope you guys do enjoy this video. I know my grappling videos do tend to go down very, very well. And yeah, so getting back into the video, look, to summarize, I do think he's good. Would I say he's in my top 5 of the division? Probably not. Like, overall, he's definitely not in that top 5. But he could sort of be looked and utilised as a hidden gem, because that's what I believe he's going to be. I don't think you're going to come up against him often. So if you want to diversify and you want to really get used to using one fighter over and over and becoming very good and sort of specialise with using that fighter, then this is definitely someone you can go for at bantamweight, because I can promise you now he's not going to be picked very consistently. And you know, at least that way you know you're never going to come up against mirror matches. But once the fight is on the ground, he does feel super dominant. Like, it's quite easy to get the denials off with him. As you can see, they get a good deny there. And I'm going to look to do exactly what I do with other fighters. I'm not going to be as aggressive with the submission finishes. When using him, you can see I'm more focused on using that ground and pound, maintaining position, looking to drain stamina, and I'm against a quite good opponent here as well. And when he's on the feet, I can definitely feel that. He's doing a good job in denying certain transitions on the ground. You see, get his back here, and I work him straight back to the ground, because this is what you're going to do. You're going to want to look to grind and wear away your opponents when using Merab. You want to keep that high pressure, high intensity, and shoot for takedowns where possible. And when you don't get those takedowns, don't be disheartened, because that is Merab's fight style. That is how he fights in real life. You're going to shoot, and eventually you're going to get one of them, and it's with that one you're going to look to do the best work possible, because when you finally get them down to the ground, now it's about controlling damage and looking for a potential submission. So any of you watch this fight against Jose Aldo, you see the guy didn't even get one takedown because Aldo's defense was absolutely immaculate, but he maintained and he kept that pressure, and ultimately that is what ended up winning in the fight. So that's definitely what I'm looking to do when utilizing him. Like I said, I do try sim fight a lot of the time, so pressure heavy style. I sort of use him how I use Colby Covington in a way. The only real difference is with Colby, I'm much more comfortable on the feet because he feels a lot more fluid, and I feel like he can definitely hang with some of the elite fighters in welterweight when it comes to striking. I don't know what it is about Colby, he just feels super slick. Maybe it's that cardio advantage as well, but with Merab I definitely don't feel like I can just purely stand and strike with the likes of Cheeto, with the likes of Sugar Sean, Petr Yan, all these guys. I definitely don't feel like I can sit there and strike with them, but when it comes to being on the ground, I feel like I can definitely compete with anyone in the division. Getting to the third round here, and had a very good second round, definitely better than the first, and even the first wasn't a bad round, to be real honest with you. Done a very good job in getting the fight to the ground, and it's once it's on the ground that you'll see that I do my best work. And this is the exact play style you have to adopt when using Cheeto, because ultimately, when using Merab, I don't know why I said Cheeto, I was just staring at him there, but this is the exact approach you're going to look to use. You're really going to look to whittle away your opponent's stamina, and then you're going to look to get the fight down. As you can see, shoot a takedown here, and I cancelled it because I felt like I wasn't getting it. With the cancellation, I was meant to take his back, but unfortunately that didn't end up coming to occurrence. Shoot a takedown there, way off. Shoot a takedown again for some reason. I was hoping to get that ankle pick animation, but you can see both times the game was like, nope, you're not getting that. And I don't know what it is about the game lately. I'm just not liking the way it feels, to be honest with you. It feels a bit, I don't know, it just feels different. I don't know how to word it. I know they did change some things, but yeah, it doesn't feel great right now, especially when it comes to the rest. You see, shoot a takedown here, good takedown defense, and I'm not gonna let this, dishearten me. These takedown denials and the good work he's doing on the feet, because ultimately I'm going to have to keep shooting these takedowns to win the fight, because standing on the feet is not going to be an option, especially with someone that's a monster like Cheeto, who could really pick you apart from anywhere and has got devastating knockout power. So you can see that I am striking, I'm throwing in these leg kicks, mixing it in, shoot for a takedown. He switches stances, which then ultimately ends up in me not getting the takedown, so that's good work. You can see when I do land with Merab, there is power behind these shots, right? So it's not like he's going to hit you and you can just eat it. If you keep throwing these powerful strikes, they will whittle away at their head health, and when you partner that with the damage you can do from ground and pound, it does end up, adding up over time. And you can see that because of the takedown deniers, and again he takedown denies here, I'm still going for them, but I'm trying to sneak them in a bit better, because I don't want to get caught with a knee on the way in, and the more he denies them, I'm honestly worried that he will catch me in a sprawl and then look to get a choke if my stamina whittles away. You can see good good leg check there to get the stun, and then he does a good work in rocking me. But again, I'm on the back foot here. He's doing a good job. He goes for that, which again was a terrible time in that, and then I sneak that front kick in there, and once I get that, get the takedown, that's just beautiful work. So that's quickly flipped the fight in a 180, because he was doing very, very good work in that third round and putting on the pressure, getting the takedown deniers, and he allowed me to get the takedown here. And with a minute to work, I'm not going to let him get back onto the feet. That's my sole goal, is do not let him get back onto the feet, is grind away and see if I can get a finish. But with 48 seconds left, to be honest, not looking real likely, as I landed side control here. But definitely look to do some damage. I mean, I've got the knockdown there, so I've definitely won this round. So I think I have it 2 rounds to myself, 1 to him, going into the scorecards if it does end up going there. So I was pretty confident I was going to get the victory, but you never know with the judges, you know how they are. It's exactly like real life. Sometimes they can be really good and sometimes they can be really bad, but ultimately I feel like with the control time and damage done that I was going to get the nod. So I'm going to play out the decision here so you can see that I do end up winning the fight. I'm going to show you the scorecards, and then I'm going to show you a highlight that I have with Merab. And I've never had this finish before. If I have, I haven't posted it to the channel. So I'm coming up against the absolute legend that is Jose Aldo. You can see he rocks me here, catch the kick, I go for the takedown, so I work him onto the fence, try to get the suplex takedown. Great job denying it, great, phenomenal takedown defense, just like Aldo in real life. And here, this is really weird, so I went for a body shot there and it just dropped straight to the takedown, which is really unfortunate, but nevertheless, beautiful knees. Like, look at those knees from Aldo, like soul-crushing knees, and you can tell by the stamina that the fight hasn't been going my way. Catch him again, take him towards the fence, bang, catch his body, roundhouse to the body, so we drop him, and then look, I'm trying to finish the fight here. See the arm triangle pop up, so I go for it. So while this is playing out here, I just want to say huge thank you for all the support. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for more UFC 4 content, and I will catch you next time. Peace.